Does your Scratch game look like this? Well, let's level it up. To get you from noob to pro, I'll teach you 5 super simple Scratch hacks. Armed with this knowledge, you'll be able to make any game 10 times better, and maybe even get some more views. Right now, your game probably looks something like this. Crappy Bird. We won't change any of the gameplay or art, as bad as it is, but we'll make it so much more fun by applying these 5 tricks. Notice how boring this button is? Why would I bother playing again? What if we made it fun to click? Let's level it up. Ooh. To make that button, there's 2 parts. The moving in and out smoothly, and then the wobbling back and forth smoothly. So we want to run this forever, and then we'll want to make it grow if we touch the mouse pointer. So if touching mouse pointer, and now what you might be doing is this. It's not very smooth, but there's a formula we can use. Drag in a plus block. Then, in the second bubble, put in a divide block, and in the first bubble of the divide block, put in a subtract block. Now, go to your looks tab, get a size block here, then put the size you want it to be in the first bubble, and then the other one, how smooth it will grow. Then duplicate this, change this to 100. This number here is the size it should be. This here is how smooth it is. Bigger numbers will take longer, so that's 10. Smaller numbers will be quicker. Yeah, like that. But 5 is good. But now we need the smooth moving back and forth. First thing you need to do is add a point and direction block. And now here's a bit of math. Get the abs block and then change it to sine, S-I-N. And then we want to put in timer and then times 100. And now you might be able to see very slight movement. But now we want to times this all by 5. And now, see how it's moving nice? It's facing the wrong way though. So all you have to do to fix that is add 90 degrees. So this first number is the angle. So 90 degrees makes it point the right way. But if it doesn't show up right, maybe try 180, 270, or like any angle you want really. But 90 looks good. This changes the speed, so bigger numbers will make it go heaps quicker. Whoa! Smaller numbers will make it go really slow. The last number changes how many degrees. So 10 moves 10 degrees back and forth. 1, it's very subtle. 5 looks good. But then let's just hook this up to our broadcast. And now, oh, that looks so good. But there is one more thing we can do. See if we put our mouse on the very edge and it moves off, that can look annoying sometimes. So what we can do, instead of touching mouse pointer, distance to mouse pointer. So where is it? Here it is. Distance to mouse pointer. Make that less than maybe about 90. And now if we put it on the very corner, it still is big. This button is so cool. Now notice when we hit the pipes, nothing moves. Boring! When I hit something, stuff definitely moves. We can do the same with a simple screen shake effect. Now to make screen shake, some of you might be doing this. See that? It doesn't look very good. See how the sprite doesn't end up in the same position as it started? And also, it should start more intense at the start, but then weaken as it goes on. So let's make a better screen shake. So just add a when I receive, make a new message, screen shake. This script is backpackable and copy pastable. So when we're done with it, you'll be able to put it on any sprite and it'll just work. And then what you need is a variable, screen shake. You can name it anything really. You just need to make sure it's for this sprite only. Okay, then you set screen shake, I'll delete this backcode. Set screen shake to about maybe 15. I'll explain what the numbers do after we get the code in. Now we want to repeat until, and then we want to make screen shake is less than a number that's really close to 0 but not quite 0, so it's 0.1. We want to move steps, so move screen shake steps, then duplicate this, minus screen shake steps, so we'll move forward and then backward. And then we can set screen shake to the variable and then divide it by 3. But there's still one more thing we need to do. Go to your events tab, get the when wait seconds block, change that to 0, and this will make it wait 1 frame. So you can actually see the movement happening. It ends in the same position as it started, and it also starts strong and then weakens. So what we can do is we can hide this variable, put that into the pipes, and explain what these numbers do. So screen shake at the top here, that's how intense it will be. The bigger number you put in here, the more it'll move. Then this should be 0.1, can't be 0 because if you divide by stuff you can't get to 0. And then this number controls how fast it slows down, if that makes any sense. So divide by 2, it's slower to slow down. Divide by 4, it's quicker to slow down. But yeah, you can just put that on any sprite you want, put the broadcast in, and now let's play. Oh, look at that screen shake. This is just really simple screen shake. There's better looking ones, but it's more complicated code. And we don't want that, do we? When our bird hits the pipes, it shouldn't stay floating. It should fall! The code's really cool! Trust me! Okay, to make movement, you're probably using a glide block, aren't you? If we're down here, it takes too long. If we're up here, it's not quick enough. Let's fix that. So let's make a broadcast fall. Okay, and then let's make a variable, falling speed. Make sure to click for this sprite only. Okay, we set falling speed to like -9, and now we repeat until Y position is less than -150. So we'll fall down to that position. And now we will change Y by falling speed, and then change falling speed by -1. Make sure you actually call the broadcast and hide that variable. See down here, it falls quickly, but up here, it also falls quickly. Oh, look how much better than a glide block that is. Now let's make this game even better by adding a little menu using this same effect. So all we have to do is make a costume, make it a big black rectangle, and then copy paste that falling code. And now we will have to put a go to block. So go to, and then a really big Y value. We want to change this to be Y position less than 0. So it's in the stops in the middle. We also want this menu to go to the back. Set ghost effect to 50. So it's half transparent. And while at it, we might as well hide it when we play the game and show it when we need it. Maybe the menu should fall a bit quicker and also a bit after the bird falls. So we'll do a little tweak, maybe 0.25, just wait a bit, and then change falling speed to like -15. Now what this code does is falling speed is that's how far it down will move. This is when it will stop moving. This just moves it down. This makes it move faster the longer it goes. Our game is coming along nicely, but what if we added some particles? Particles are just clones of a sprite. So make a sprite, draw a dot, zoom in, put that dot in the middle, then fill it to be the color of the pipes. And now name your sprite particles. Now, what we want to do is make a broadcast particles, and then make a custom block, make particles. Make sure to click run without screen refresh. That box will make sure all the particles are made all at once. And now repeat random amount of times, maybe 10 to 20. And then create clone of myself. And then we want to call the make particles block. But there's a step we want to do before this. And if you forget it, you'll have way too many clones. We need to make sure that clones can't create clones. To do that, we delete clones before we make new ones. So drag it, delete this clone block. You won't be able to put make particles after it, because delete this clone doesn't have a little knob. Or can you? So you just drag an if block, and then make particles underneath that, and then put a not block. Just having nothing there means false. So not nothing, that means true, which means our if will run. So that means we'll always delete this clone. And the thing is, the main sprite itself, it's not a clone, so it won't be deleted, but all the clones will be. And this stops your screen being flooded by clones. Very annoying when that happens. So now just drag when I start as clone block, and this is the fun bit. Put whatever blocks you want to make the particles look however you want. This is something I like. So we want to go to our bird. That's part of why we have this custom block running in one frame. All our particles will be made before the bird starts falling. And now we want to repeat a couple times and move some steps. Now it will be cool if we have a variable for this. Speed. Just set speed to whatever you want. Maybe try 5 to 10. And then move speed steps. And then change speed maybe by 1. And also, after the loop, make sure to delete this clone. Make sure you broadcast particles on your bird, and let's test how that looks. Okay, we've got a dot there, and they're all in a straight line. So what we want to do is we want to show here, but then hide the main sprite. So show the clones, hide the main sprite, point in direction, and then a random block 0 to 360. Make it point in a completely random direction, and also it would be cool if it faded out gradually instead of just popping in and out of existence. So change ghost effect by 10. So that'll make it more transparent. Hide that variable no one cares about. Okay, it's looking cool. Maybe the particles should fall, like as if they had gravity. So change Y by -5. Oh, that's so cool. Yes. This is amazing. Our game looks so much better without even changing the art. Although it looks cool, we're missing something important. It's so important that Scratch has an entire categories of blocks for it, but they're so rarely used. Clap. This unused tab is the sounds tab. When we die, we probably should have a sound effect, right? So let's start sound. We don't have any sounds here. So let's import some. All these sound effects will be the example project in the description. So let's add a hit effect, and then a start sound fall effect. And we want to maybe wait a couple seconds for it to fall. So maybe fall after 0.1. And that'll give time for the sound effect to play. Okay, look at this. So impactful. You can also add a sound effect for flapping. So start sound, flap. This isn't how you make Flappy Bird over here. Don't copy this. Okay, it's a bit loud, don't you think? So maybe we can go to our sound editor and soften it a bit. And also it sounds a bit repetitive. So add a set pitch block and then -10 to 10. This will change the pitch very slightly, so it sounds different each time you play the sound effect. But where do you get the sounds? Well, you can use the websites Pixabay, Free Sound, even meme websites like My Instance, or good old Google.com. But just adding sound effects makes everything so much better. Did you unlock the life restore item? Thank you, and congrats on leveling up past noob. But there's still a lot to learn before you become pro. See, even after learning all these powerful hacks, you're still making big mistakes that absolutely destroy your game. So watch this video right here to learn what they are and how to fix them.